It all kicked off when prosecutors from the Southern District of New York dropped a bombshell in the form of a legal document. Now, you might know that Combs is already in hot water, facing some pretty serious accusations. We're talking sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution. But hold on to your hats, because this new filing takes things to a whole new level. The prosecutors are essentially saying that Combs shouldn't even get a whiff of freedom before his trial. And why, you ask? Well, why? Well, you ask. Well, that's where things get really interesting. According to the prosecutors, while Combs has been cooling his heels in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, which, let me tell you, is no five-star hotel, he's been up to some pretty shady business. They're alleging that he's been trying to contact victims and witnesses in ways that are far from kosher. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. They're also accusing him of attempting to manipulate the future jury pool and, get this, using his own family to do his dirty work. It's like we're watching a real-life crime thriller unfold before our eyes. Now, let's break down this bail situation, because it's crucial to understanding why this case is causing such a stir. Typically, when someone's accused of a crime, they can request to be released on bail until their trial. It's like a promise. You pay a chunk of change and swear you'll behave and show up to court when you're supposed to. But in Combs' case, the prosecutors are saying, no way, Jose. They filed a document opposing Combs' request for bail, and they want the new judge on the case, a fellow named Arun Subramanian, to not only deny bail, but to say Combs doesn't even deserve a hearing to consider it. It's like they're telling Combs, don't even think about it, buddy. So why is Combs behind bars in the first place? Well, this isn't his first rodeo with bail requests. Other judges have already shot him down before. The courts have sided with the prosecutors, who've argued that if Combs is out and about, he's a danger to society. Not only that, but they think he might pull a Houdini and disappear if given the chance. And, as if that wasn't enough, there was already evidence that he'd been inappropriately contacting victims and witnesses. It's like Combs can't help but dig his hole deeper, even when he's already in a pretty deep pit. Now, Combs' lawyers, as you'd expect, are crying foul. They're swearing up and down that those conversations Combs had weren't meant to intimidate anyone or obstruct justice. They're even claiming that in at least one instance, it was a witness who reached out to Combs, not the other way around. It's the classic he started at defense, but with legal jargon and high stakes. But wait, there's more. The prosecutors have come out swinging with new evidence to justify keeping Combs locked up. They say that while he was trying to dodge surveillance, because, they keep an eye on you in jail, Combs has been busier than a one-armed wallpaper hanger. What's he been up to? Well, according to the prosecutors, he's been orchestrating social media campaigns to influence the jury, trying to leak information he thinks will help his case, and reaching out to witnesses through other people. It's like he's running a covert operation from his cell, thinking he's in an episode of Prison Break mixed with Mad Men. Here's where it gets really spy movie-esque. The prosecutors say they've reviewed a ton of jail call recordings, and what they've discovered is pretty jaw-dropping. Apparently, Combs has been using the phone accounts of at least 8 other inmates. This, in case you didn't know, is a big no-no. It's like he's playing Monopoly in jail, but with phone numbers instead of properties. Why is he doing this? Well, it seems he's trying to avoid having his calls tracked. He's using these numbers to call both people he's allowed to contact and others who aren't on his approved list. It's like he's building his own clandestine phone network inside the jail. And how does Combs get access to these numbers? Allegedly, he's telling other people to pay the inmates. They're even using payment apps and making deposits into the inmates' jail accounts. It's like a modern bribery system with a tech twist. Plus, he's asking his family and lawyers to add other people to three-way calls, which is also against the rules. It's as if he's setting up a secret communications network inside the jail, something straight out of an Ocean's 11 movie. But there's more. They're also saying Combs is using a secret messaging service called Contact Me ASAP to hide his communications. Apparently, he's got 2 accounts. One linked to his son's email, though it's not really his son's, and another belonging to a different inmate. Through these accounts, he's been sending hundreds of text messages to all sorts of people, including lawyers and folks who shouldn't be on his contact list. It's like he's got his own private messaging service inside the jail. Imagine that it's as if he's running a spy operation from his cell. The prosecutors say that in several of these calls, Combs isn't beating around the bush. They claim he's crystal clear about his intention to use public statements to change how people see his case, and, more importantly, how potential jurors might view it. Even after the court told him to zip it, they literally issued a gag order. Combs allegedly used his family to plan and execute a social media campaign around his birthday. The goal? To influence potential jurors. It's like he's trying to win his case in the court of public opinion before the real trial even starts. You've got to admit, it's a bold strategy. There's this viral video showing Combs' kids wishing him happy birthday, and he's on the phone, seemingly happy as a clam.
I love y'all so much.
We love you too.
Love you, Pastor.
I can't wait to see y'all.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see y'all. And I just want to say I'm proud of y'all, especially the girls. I mean, all of y'all, but just for being strong. Thank y'all for being strong, and thank y'all for being by my side and supporting me. I love y'all. I got the best family in the world. My birthday, I'm happy. Thanks to y'all giving me this call. Thank you very much. I love y'all.
But the prosecutors say this wasn't just a sweet family moment. They claim Combs was monitoring the stats of this video and talking with his family about how to make sure it had the effect he wanted on people who might end up on the jury. It's like he's running a marketing campaign, but for his legal case. Imagine trying to influence a jury that hasn't even been selected yet. It's like trying to win a chess game before the pieces are on the board. The prosecutors also say Combs has been trying to contact potential witnesses like there's no tomorrow. And we're not talking about just any witnesses, but people who say he abused them. They mention a specific call on October 4th, 2024, between Combs and one of his adult sons. Apparently, in this call, they were discussing how to blackmail victims and witnesses into keeping quiet or saying things that would help Combs in court. It's like he's trying to direct the show from behind bars, like a conductor trying to get everyone to play his tune. Now, here's something that seems straight out of a detective movie. Investigators did a nationwide raid on jails, yes, across the whole country, and found some notes in Combs' cell. The prosecutors say these notes suggest Combs paid a witness after this person made a public statement. It's like they found a detailed diary of all his alleged misdeeds. Imagine leaving a to-do list of all your supposed illegal activities, just lying around. But wait, it gets even more complicated. Combs' legal team has just fired back. They're saying the prosecutors have their hands on material that's protected by attorney-client privilege. This includes notes Combs wrote. They're claiming this search and seizure is illegal and violates Combs' constitutional rights. They're so upset about it that they're demanding an emergency hearing to present evidence. It's like we're watching a legal ping pong match, with each side lobbing accusations and counter-accusations back and forth. The prosecutors also talk about a witness too. They don't name names, but from how they describe it, it seems they're talking about Kina Harper. She was in the musical group Dirty Money with Combs. According to the prosecutors, Combs got back in touch with her in September 2024, just before he was arrested. They say they had a bunch of calls and text messages. In the end, Harper made a statement about a lawsuit on Instagram on September 13th, 24. It's like Combs was trying to make sure everyone was singing from the same hymn sheet, like a very persistent choir director. They also mention a victim one. While they don't give names, all signs point to Cassandra Ventura, Combs' ex-girlfriend. She's thought to be potentially the star witness in this case. The prosecutors have text messages that they say show Combs physically abused Ventura and threatened her. They're using these messages to paint a pretty ugly picture of Combs and his behavior. It's like they're putting together a jigsaw puzzle, and each text message is a piece revealing a clearer image of what allegedly happened. Now, let's talk about bail. Combs' team proposed a bail package that sounds pretty strict. A $50 million bail. Yes, you heard that right? Millions. House arrest with 24/7 monitoring, only family visits, no internet, no phone. Sounds like a prison at home, right? Well, sounds like a prison at home, right? Well, the prosecutors say even that's not enough. They argue that no matter how many restrictions you put on him, Combs will always find a way to get people to do what he wants. Whether it's employees, family members, other inmates, or even the security staff who'd be watching him. It's like they're saying Combs has superpowers of persuasion, able to convince anyone to do his bidding. Not everyone agrees with the prosecutors, though. Defense attorney Bradford Cohen has weighed in on this whole mess. And let me tell you, he's got some interesting things to say. Cohen says that this business of making calls through third parties is super common in many cases, and it's not a big deal. According to him, it's like the prosecutors are making a mountain out of a molehill. About those social media campaigns, Cohen says it's normal for famous people accused of something to try to improve how the public sees them. It's like he's saying, hey, if you were accused of something, wouldn't you try to make people think well of you too? He also questions how strong these obstruction accusations really are. He says if the prosecutors had real proof, they would have filed more charges against Combs by now. It's like he's saying, if you've got something, show it already. Cohen is also pretty upset about them taking Combs' notes. He says it's a total violation of attorney-client privilege and goes against Combs' constitutional rights. He argues that this shows why it's a problem to have someone in jail before their trial. It's like he's saying, see, this is why people should be out until they're proven guilty. The case keeps developing, and it seems like every day there's something new. There's a bail hearing scheduled for November 22nd, 2024, and everyone expects it to be explosive. The prosecutors say they're going to hand over the recordings of these calls to Combs' team before the hearing, but they'll do it through a special team that'll make sure there's nothing in there they shouldn't see. It's like they're playing cards, but with the cards face down. In summary, this case is like an onion. It has many layers. On one hand, we have the original accusations: sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution. That's already pretty serious stuff. But now, on top of all that, we have all these new accusations of obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and attempts to influence the jury. It's like Combs is playing chess, but the prosecutors say they're seeing all his moves. The defense, for their part, is fighting tooth and nail. They're arguing that Combs' constitutional rights have been violated and questioning how the prosecutors are interpreting everything he's done. It's like a large-scale legal battle, with each side using every weapon at their disposal. What's clear is that this case is far from over. It promises more twists and turns than a roller coaster. We'll all be watching closely to see what happens at that bail hearing and how all this unfolds leading up to the trial, which is scheduled for May 2025. It's a case that's definitely worth keeping an eye on. It's like a TV series, but in real life, and with very serious consequences for everyone involved. And there you have it. This is the full story of the Sean Diddy Combs case so far. It's a legal mess of epic proportions, with serious accusations, complex legal maneuvers, and a lot at stake. We'll keep watching how all this unfolds in the coming months. Who knows what else will come to light, or what new twists this case will take. The only thing that's certain is that whatever happens, it'll be making headlines.